Good morning and welcome to this week's episode of A Child's Life. For this week's episode, we're going to look at kindness and compassion. We have so much going on in our world today that we must wonder whether we're forgetting the importance of basic principles such as kindness and compassion. Sometimes children can be mean. Yes, they can be very mean. This is not cute. This is not a sign of maturity, and this is not acceptable. I want to be blunt about this because when we don't encourage kindness and compassion in children, we have to remember that we are creating teens and adults that lack kindness and compassion as well. If we want to have the type of nation that is built on Christian principles, we must teach our little people how to do this. Firstly, the key of raising a child who demonstrates kindness and compassion is to begin by training our minds to notice kindness and compassion. Yes, the minds of us as parents. When we notice it, we can praise it. This encourages more of the same behavior. Kindness and compassion can seem like an abstract value to children. So noticing them allows them to tie real-life behaviors to them. Often we notice the bad behaviors more than we notice the good behaviors. So bad behaviors get highlighted, and good and kind behaviors sometimes get no attention. So let's use a basic example of praising behaviors. Imagine you have a baby that is about to start walking for the first time. When they take these first few steps, we fill them with praise and hugs and kisses and smiles. The baby thinks, hey, this gets me a lot of attention. Let me try this again. We continue to give them this attention until walking becomes a normal behavior and we tend to stop praising it. So, when it comes to kindness, I want you to think of this example. If when a child is kind and compassionate and they're praised as a young child, they're more likely to continue the behavior, even when praise is no longer needed or always there. Children are generally very good receivers of kindness and compassion. They tend to get it from their parents and their caregivers all the time. When we help them become givers of kindness, we escalate their feelings of happiness, improve their well-being, reduce instances of bullying in our schools and communities, and enrich relationships. These basic virtues are extremely powerful, not only to the receivers, but to the givers. So how can we notice kindness and compassion? Help children become conscious of what they are doing. For example, if your child is picking up toys, rather than saying thank you, say thank you for picking up the toys. If big sister runs to comfort little brother when he takes a tumble, highlight the fact that she ran to comfort him. When actions contribute to the welfare of others, point it out. You said thanks for having me over so that your friend knows that you appreciate them inviting you. You can also simply add a descriptive tag to an action in progress, such as, that was kind, that was helpful, that was thoughtful. When we do this, we are yet again moving from the abstract to the concrete. We're teaching our children that these qualities look, feel, and sound like. By noticing compassion and kindness, we're making our children more conscious. This consciousness helps to stimulate the development of higher centers of the brain that help our children to grow in many domains. As mentioned earlier, we tend not to have a problem noticing the negative. So to conclude, remember that we tend to get more of what we focus on. When we focus on our children being kind, we will likely get more of it than we expect. Model acts of kindness for your children to see. Encourage them in coming up with ways that they can be helpful to others. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of A Child's Life. If you would like to get in contact with me, please email me at connect@yolanderobinson.com.